All right, here's my 041 chainsaw. FarmBoss. That's how I know it's an 041, because the sign says it. And last week, this flywheel, which sits in there, had every single one of these fins knocked off of it. I don't know if you can see that. You should be able to see that. This thing's super light. It's a really cool two-piece design. When we get it back together, I'll show you, but there's a screw over here that had backed itself out, and as I was doing a downward cut, I kept on hearing a clanking noise, and that clanking noise was that screw just chipping off every single one of these fins. So this is what it should look like. The saw continued to run, and it powered through it until I noticed that the cylinder was getting really hot. I mean, it was smoking, and I was like, all right, well, something's definitely wrong. Like, I should look into it, and then that's what I found. And I was pretty disheartened to find it, because due to it being an old saw, parts are very hard to find, and I'm going to say bespoke part for this chainsaw. They probably only made it for this model, and this, you know, it's not like a universal. I don't know that for a fact. I could be wrong on that, but it's possible. So I thought, well, there's probably no way, but I'll look. And then lo and behold, I found this one on eBay from a guy in Pennsylvania, and it looks absolutely brand new. It could have been used, I don't know. It doesn't look like it was ever used to me. But it was the only one that I found on the internet. Like, when I searched that part number right there, this one and this one only popped up. And when I searched it again after I bought it, I only found where I had bought this one. Like, for instance, the ad was still up, and it was marked sold, so there was no more left. All right, so I know that you guys didn't get to see me pulling this thing apart and cleaning it and all. Sometimes I just got to get stuff done. So, but I'll show you guys me putting this thing back together. So the first thing we're going to start with is putting this, we'll call it the cooling fan, back on the flywheel. And then what that requires is this tiny little paper gasket. Well, I'll call it a gasket, but it's not really a gasket. Paper insulator is what I'm really going to call it. And I was able to salvage this off the old one. All right, I know y'all didn't see that. It's 40 inch-pounds. This part had some dry rot and cracking, so I'm going to replace it with this hose. This to me is a vent tube from the crankcase. I don't know a ton about two-stroke motors, so I could be wrong on that as well. So I'm sure someone will tell me. In the process of using this saw, which is my absolute all-time favorite saw to use, even though it's a pretty dangerous saw by modern standards, I think I lost about, well, actually I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws backed out of it just from vibration alone. So these screws that I'm putting in now just happen to be M5 screws that I had, thankfully, that I'm going to use red Loctite on to hopefully keep them from backing out again. And before I even put Loctite in all these, I taken brake cleaner and cleaned out all these holes and blew them out with compressed air, so that way I knew they were dry. Alright, now I got a bit of a pickle because there's a throttle linkage that goes in between throttle and throttle on the actual carburetor. And I believe I've misplaced it. Alright, I'm back. I found it. Yep, just like I said, it's a piece of wire, and yeah, my feelings would have been hurt because I would have had to figure out all those bends backwardsly. One of the things I noticed is this little fella goes down in there. So we're going to loosen these screws back up. Obviously, it seems as though I forgot that, which I did. Yeah. Put that little fella in there like that. Doesn't feel good. Oh, threads on this guy are all galled up. That's why. Alright, well, fortunately enough, I had some extra money in my tool budget, and I bought myself a metric tap and die set. And I thought, well, I'm never going to use metric. And it looks like I found a time I would. So I'm just going to slowly feed this in there. Make sure I'm not cutting double threads, because that would be extra tragic because I don't have any extra screws, and then I'd have to stop this project and start order some more. Man, that's fortunate. Whoo-wee, whoo-wee, whoo-wee. Man, I bet the Germans would say wunderbar. Maybe. Oh man, that's a good screw right there. Right there. Them little shiny spots right there, they were galled over. So this is the screw that had backed itself out, and it found its happy little way inside there. And the way I had figured it, this part was on the outside, and I guess it had worked itself loose and fallen down in these little cracks there and just chewed it all up.
You see there, Scooter? Thinks of the simplest things first.
Anyways, this guy got all beat up. Before I do, let me just see. Can I do that? Yes, I can. Alright. You might think to yourself, like, oh, what are you using red Loctite for? You might have to get back into that. Well, I hope I don't. Because this all probably spent, I don't know, 40-something years altogether. I'm pretty sure if I get 10 more years out of it, it's a win. Alright, we'll just do that. Oh, look at that. Yeah. You see? Look at all that nastiness. I had to replace this bar recently. I had allowed it to get worked through abuse, and it was doing a better job as like an airplane propeller than it was a straight bar. So when she got a new bar, she got a new chain. Well, I'm sure professional arborists and loggers don't have to hug their chainsaws to set the right tension on their blades, but whatever, I did. How much oil I got in there? Ooh, she's almost full.
It ain't got no gas in it.
Last couple of years I've been using this pre-made fuel you can get at the hardware store. It's ethanol free. I don't run a chainsaw every day, so the nice thing about this stuff is every time I want to run, it's always there waiting for me. What are the odds I can do this on camera? All right, she starts.